Calling to order the Public Safety Committee meeting of Monday, September 15th, 2025. Do I have a motion for the approval of minutes?
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to table the minutes. Councilor O'Sullivan isn't here, and you were absent last time.
Yeah, I will second that.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Tabling that approval of minutes. Now I will open it up to the public. Anybody who wants to address the committee can move forward to the lectern and address the committee. I don't see anyone in the public. Is there anyone online? Any comments? Hearing none, I will move on to the departmental updates.
Chairman, I'd like to rearrange the agenda a little bit for that and move the health district up prior to fire department, please.
All in favor? I will second that first,
Okay.
and then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving that up, Charles, are you there? Is Charles Brown online yet?
I guess not.
All right, so what we'll do is we will move health district after emergency management, I guess.
Right, he's right there.
Is he up?
He's back.
I don't see him on the screen.
It's on my screen.
Is he on yours?
We got him on this screen.
And the big screen.
Oh, now he's here.
We got him.
You got him. Sorry about that. You're not on my screen here. Go ahead, Charlie. Sorry about that. We can't hear you.
No volume.
Nope. No.
Yeah, you can't hear you, Charlie.
No. Everything's okay. Bye, Charlie. He's giving up on us.
It's on his end, right?
I don't know. He gone.
I think he's gone, he's off.
He's off. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we'll take him up again when he's back. Do you want to start, Chief, with fire?
Okay. Charlie's a tough act to follow, I guess. You have our executive summary, so just a couple other items worth mentioning. We took delivery and placed into service a Hearst Rescue E-Tool, replacing our last hydraulic tool. And this makes our entire stock of rescue tools battery-based. We now have decommissioned all our hydraulics, and in a year from now, I hope to report significant savings in testing and maintenance of these tools. That was a big step right there. Also, another big step, in the interest of safety for our members, our new turnout gear going forward, starting with the order we just made, is all going to be PFAS-free. A lot of benefits with PFAS-free gear, and number one, obviously, reduction of the cancer risk. PFAS is a known carcinogen, and removing that from the gear significantly lowers the risk of cancer amongst the firefighters. And by removing it from the gear is now more resistant to soot and to chemicals, products of combustion during firefighting operations. So it just creates a healthier work environment. A couple other things. Firefighter 1 certification training has begun, and we'll have a report on this as they ramp up. At last month's meeting, we had a discussion about a large structure fire on Falcon Ridge. Since then, we had 2 more structure fires, actually with one coming in at the conclusion of last month's public safety meeting. I was here when I got the notification. We had a room and contents fire that spread to an adjacent apartment at 102 West Street. This fire was well advanced on our arrival, and we called for Task Force 51 very early in this fire, partially because we were missing a resident and also because the fire was advancing. The initial crews did a fantastic job and knocked the fire down, but it did take some time for final extinguishment. After several top-to-bottom searches, the missing resident was found outside, thank God, and healthy. A total of 8 units were not habitable after the fire. We had 1 injury at this fire, and that was one of our firefighters had a heat-related injury, and which he is still going through testing for. A few nights later, about 2:45 in the morning, we were dispatched to a business on the Silas Deane Highway for alarms activated in the building, and prior to our arrival, PD on scene reported heavy smoke in the rear of the building. And when we got there, we announced a working fire, and the crews forced entry through the front door of the building and found a fire in the laundry room. Luckily, for all involved, the fire was partially controlled by a melted connection on a water pipe. And final extinguishment was performed by the crew from Engine 1. We did have 1 injury at this fire, and that was a trip and fall resulting in an orthopedic injury to the firefighter. Both fires had significant weather challenges. The West Street fire, we had high ambient temperatures during the day, high humidity, and at the Silas Deane fire, it was raining heavily at the time, which held the smoke real low, making visibility very difficult. And that's it for fire. Stand ready for questions.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions? Council?
In your report, you said you had 4 injuries for the month. I mean, is anything long-term, or I hope not?
The 2, I just mentioned the 2 long-terms.
Okay, those
The
are
other
the
2 were
longest.
minor.
Okay.
The one from the West Street, he is going through testing.
Okay.
And the orthopedic injury involved a broken bone.
Wish them well and speedy recovery.
Thank you.
It's unusual to have 3 fires in a month. Is there any concern for arson or anything
3
like that?
3 fires, 3 separate causes.
Okay.
3 separate sides of the town. Not at all.
Okay, that's good. Final question. Last month, I mentioned there was an online grant writing fire department seminar. Have you ever look into that, or do you think we're
I
gonna
did
send
look into
anybody?
that,
Okay.
and I won't be going to the grant writing class. We're going to use Mission CIT's grant writing services, which are free to us with the contract we signed.
Good, excellent. Thank you guys for everything you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. One question I have was kind of related to incident. False alarms seem to be like tracking lower, which is a good thing, obviously, for you guys from operational. I mean, it can catch up. I don't know for the rest of the year, 4 months still going left. But do you feel that it looks like they're 180 right now, if I'm reading this chart correctly? Used to be like 293 for the whole year. 180 right now. I don't know if we can make 110 in the last 4 months. Maybe we can, but.
I printed out the summary report of incidents for August only. I didn't print out the full year, so I don't have the full
Okay.
180 or 290. We're showing 37%. But as I explained, I believe last month or the month before, Some of those in there are actual alarms caused by, it's considered an unintentional alarm activation. Food on the stove, smoke from cooking, something like that, which the smoke detectors are doing their job. They're sensing smoke and they're activating and they're calling us, but it's an unintentional alarm. If it extends off the stove any further into a cabinet, it might be, that's when we classify it into the fire category. We had a brief discussion last week at the task force meeting about the new reporting system, and it's NERIS, National Electronic Reporting Information System. You're going to see all these categories break down a lot further, and I think it's going to make a lot more sense, where it may show 37% false alarms now, but I think you're going to see a lot better breakdown after that. And again, it's going to be a lot easier to understand. So what I would ask is just, please bear with us a couple months. Let us get that on board. Again, it's a national system, so they're going to start in the Northeast with it. Our management software vendor says they're ready to go. So we're actually going to have a discussion tomorrow night as to when we're going to pull the trigger. Probably going to run two systems side by side just to make sure the new system is ready to go before we go fully. Obviously, a lot more to report on that in the future. But, yeah, just
It'll be
please bear
good.
with
No,
us
no,
on
of course,
that.
of course. No, thank you. And I think that'll be great, right? It's going to be a better system, hopefully, a newer system for sure, so.
Absolutely. This is a 20-year-old. These categories right now and the ones that I presented to you guys last month, they're 20 years old. 20 years ago, we didn't have the ways to break these apart that we do now. I mean, 20 years ago, they handed you a pad and you were just
Right.
writing them in pen and handing them in, and somebody was collating them at whatever office you sent it to. So now it's electronic, so it's getting better. We're improving.
Yeah, okay. No, thank you. Thanks for that report. Staying with you, I don't know if Charlie's here, but I will get through the emergency management first with Chief Gary, and then we can take up Charlie if he's around. Go ahead, Chief.
Emergency, okay. Okay, thank you. And since our last meeting, I believe we opened up the town cooling centers once during a heat event. Couple other things. Last week at the Italian Festival, we had a significant weather event. And because of initial planning with the event organizers and the actions of the fire marshal and the Parks and Rec supervisor, the site was evacuated before the storms hit with no injuries. And I can't say enough about what those two guys did. They did a great job. Early in the morning before the event started, we had a briefing on the stage with the organizers, and we expected weather in. The weather was well reported by the media, so we knew the time it was coming and so forth. Parks and Rec has a well-established and well-honed plan for weather events. We explained it to the organizers. We had a question and answer period, and once the weather started coming in, they started hearing thunder. They started evacuating. I was actually down at the boat launch trying to get some of the smaller boats out of the water onto trailers. I didn't want people going out there with what was coming in. And like I said, they did a great job. No injuries, so kudos to them. And lastly, we participated in the State Demas EPI drill, Emergency Preparedness Drill, on September 9th, 2025. They started by testing our ability to address drought conditions in the town. And then they injected some large fires with 12 structure fires and using the drought conditions to simulate a lack of water supply. They moved into sheltering and evacuations. And once all that was done, they hit us with a hurricane dumping 14 inches of rain. The after-action reports aren't complete yet. They're quite lengthy, and we're following the state plans on this. And we will be reporting on this in the future. But we had quite the police presence, as this is a requirement of CALIA. And I stand ready for questions.
Thank you, Chief. Council.
No questions other than a comment. Thanks for that preparedness and everybody working together. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely want to thank you for that as well. Seems like a lot of coordination teamwork, so. Yeah. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Charlie there online? I don't see him on my screen.
Charlie left.
Charlie left. All right. We are going to move to ambulance. Dave or whoever wants to start on the ambulance side.
I'm sitting over here scratching away on notes.
Go ahead, Mary.
You want me to start or you want to go?
You can go first.
Oh, thanks.
Ladies first. Gives them a chance to forget about me. It gives them a chance to forget about me. It's my shtick.
No, Dave. We're not doing that. Okay, so Rocky Hill had in August, we had 130 responses total. 370 took 121, 371 took 4, I took 5. So we're up to 855 total for the year. I think we're on a great trajectory. In the first this last 6 months has been much nicer than the 6 months previously. So I think we're on point for where we need to be. We participated in National Night Out. We attended the same fest with the fire department, and we also participated in the wreath ceremony with all the other agencies in town. Also, we graduated, the EMT class graduated. They've all passed their practicals. A lot of them have, a good majority of them passed their written exams, and we now have several newly certified EMTs and new applications in the hopper. So we are going to be doing a lot of training, and that was the goal of this summer. So we are on our trajectory where we want to be. We've done also a couple of football standbys. I'm going to be doing some. The last couple of weeks have been. It's been very busy standby wise. And we also are planning our next EMT class. That's currently in the hopper. So that's the next goal, is to start a new one for over the winter. So, and get more football games done. And the EMS conference is coming up at the end of this month. So there's a couple of things going on.
Before we go to Dave, do you have any questions, Counselor, for the Chief?
Seems like the second ambulance isn't taking as many calls. Is it staffing or just not a need for it?
No, there's a need, but we
Okay.
needed to also reorganize and revamp and get some things organized. And
Okay.
this gave us the opportunity, because we had the staffing agency in there, to reorganize a lot of things internally, get ourselves together, and that's what we've been doing, and it has
Good.
actually been working. So that
Okay.
is exactly what we wanted to do, was get, so that we could get ourselves where we wanted. We want to be on a trajectory by the fall, which is, we wanted to get this class done. We are
Okay.
now where we need to be. We are working, we are on target with the
Great.
goals that we set for ourselves at the beginning of July. So,
That's all. Thanks for everything you guys do
you're
for our
very
town.
welcome. You're very welcome.
Chief, like you said, like it's been much nicer now. What do you mean by that? Like nicer, as in you said much nicer this last 6 months?
Nicer because the second ambulance is online and it's working, and then we can do the football standbys, and we are not struggling to stress Aetna out because they've now got Weathersfield they are taking care of also, and we're not back and forth trying to figure out what we need to get. It's easier for me to scramble together a crew, if you will, to do a football standby very easily. Perfect example. When we need things done to service our town and not stress out another agency completely.
Yeah, how about, you said like you have brought in new recruits online. What is the active count now at this point?
I didn't bring that with me, I'm sorry. I really didn't bring anything with me, other than I didn't bring any head counts with me.
Can you bring that next time?
Sure.
Yeah, I think that would be like, just from a resourcing standpoint, like, Chief tracks it, like, both of them track it pretty like regularly on what is the active roster versus how many, like, yeah, so I think we should keep track of that. So yeah, I mean, seems like good news generally, at least on the operational side. All right, good, thank you. Moving on to Dave.
All right.
I didn't
so-
forget Dave.
I know. I'm so proud of you. I think there was a question last month, and I just want to hit that first because there was a question about some of the numbers, and I think I know why. So I'll bring you to, I think it's page 3 of the document. It's like a table. It's incorrectly labeled, which is part of it, but it should be incidents by organization, but it says RHVA unit responses, August 2024, August 2025. And so in those two columns, what that's looking at is it's looking at the it eliminates any duplicated response. So like if our paramedic vehicle is going with 370 or 371, that gets taken out of that equation because it's not really a separate event or a separate patient. It's just going to augment that response. And so that's why that number is going to be lower than the number that I'll say here in a little bit. So like for this month, it says 214, but then in a second, it sounds like I'm contradicting myself because I'll say like, hey, in the month of August, we did 287. So that difference in the 214 to 287 is the paramedic intercept vehicle or any where there's like a duplication of a resource, just to kind of get us an idea of how many actual EMS events there are within the town. So before I go, does that make sense, or did I confuse?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's all good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So for 2025, we're up to 2,340 responses and 1,639 transports. Last month, we saw 287 responses. That's all Aetna responses, so that includes some of that duplication, multiple responses to a single patient event with 180 transports. Average response time, 6 minutes and 50 seconds. We did see, it does say 3, but it was actually 6 total if you do the math. Cardiac arrest with 1 transport and 5 presumptions. We did see a little bit of an uptick in the opiate-related encounters, which is in line with kind of what we were seeing across the board, unfortunately. So hopefully that's just a limited, like, short-time thing, but we'll certainly keep an eye on it. We also participated in the statewide emergency management tabletop drill. I believe it was last week. Was it last week, Chief, or this week? That was last week. It was last week, yeah. I don't know. It's all blurring together. But that was a fun little process of getting the drought thrown at you, and then you're like, oh, by the way, it's going to flood, and we're going to hit you with a hurricane and fires and all sorts of fun stuff. So it was fun to see how sick and twisted our emergency management folks are. But good, nice training there. We have 6 EMTs that just completed their field training process, and we have 3 additional paramedics that are starting their medical control authorization process. And we're currently looking to do a higher class, probably coming up here in, I would say, November at this point. We're going to look to have one, possibly a second one in December or January. So with that, I will stand ready for any questions that you guys have.
No questions. Thanks for your service to the town.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think we are good. No questions. Easy day.
I can go now? Okay, I'm done.
Well,
I retire.
We like you to be here for at least till the end of the meeting, Dave. Unless
Okay, fair
you have
enough.
dinner plans.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. moving on to police. Chief Glenn.
Good evening. I just happened to be looking at my emails. We're listening to Dave, and looks like Charlie had reached out apologizing for the computer, but also want to get on the record his flu clinics for the 21st and 22nd. You can sign up for those online on the Connecticut Central Health Connecticut District website. And actually spoke to Charlie today about those. We'll be providing a little extra attention for his staff on both days here at Town Hall. So that's my public health announcement for you. As it relates to the report,
Thank you.
you can see that in front of you. I'd just like to point out the announcement on the bottom there for some great patrol work back on August 13th. Our midnight shift, big shout out to them for having some situational awareness and monitoring their radios. They're aware of a suspicious stolen vehicle in the town of Weathersfield, kind of up to no good, committing crimes, breaking into cars, and they coordinated as a team. Ultimately find that car in Rocky Hill, where eventually there was 3 suspects were taken into custody and arrested and taken off the road from preventing them from committing any crimes within our jurisdiction. So a great job by our Midnight Patrol District and all our patrol guys and girls for doing great work that night. We have a pending retirement. I announced that last time, but that job announcement's in progress. We should see that go up to the police app site within the next couple weeks to get that position filled. And I stand ready for any questions you may have.
Counselor.
Chief, it's election season. We're starting to talk to more and more people. Speeding's always comes up. Just keep you guys aware. If they can encourage them, do some speed enforcement throughout the town. Another thing that came up was no-through truck signage and enforcement. Kobe Road came up. A resident down there said they think this no-through truck sign is removed. I don't know if the town would check into that, or your department, or somebody could take a ride by. People are saying that, if we could keep some of the trucks out of some of these streets that are supposed to be no-through.
Is it Hayes Road or Kobe? I'm sorry.
Kobe came up as the sign missing. Some of the residents said it used to be there. I don't know if that still would apply or if the town engineering took it out completely, but
Okay. I can check
one
and see.
was there. And then just an encouragement from other towns, roads, Hayes came up too, just to keep an eye on no-through trucks for enforcement. Some other people mentioned to me, and I've seen it around too, is the e-bikes and moped-type vehicles around town, a lot in the roadways. You mind giving us a little safety tip and what maybe the law is for that?
The laws are changing on October 1st. Your timing and your question is quite good. We were just talking about this last week with our staff. Our SROs put together a pamphlet, which I have here, which has been sent to the district, the Board of Ed district, and going out to being disseminated amongst the district to the students. It's kind of an information sheet about what is an e-bike, what is not. We're waiting for the legislation update to be placed into our books. Essentially, we have manuals that we use to read the new laws and interpret them and how to enforce them. So having spoken with our SRO who maintains the high school, she's aware of the concerns. She's actually been monitoring the students coming in. What essentially is coming in is there's 3 levels of e-bikes. There's a level 1, level 2, and level 3. A level 3 bike would be something that's exceeding 28 miles an hour. Typically, you might see them without having any pedals on them. Maybe look more of like a dirt bike or a moped. As of October 1st, we do know that there will be a license required to operate those types of e-bikes. Essentially, anything over 750 watts or below 3,500 would be considered a Class 3 e-bike, requiring a driver's license and a helmet. Those level 3 bikes are not supposed to be on sidewalks, supposed to be maintaining proper traffic and adhering to traffic laws and speed limits. Where I think we get a little bit, I don't want to say interesting, I think it gets confusing, is level 1 and level 2 e-bikes are considered motor-assisted bikes, but don't necessarily have the same restrictions that the level 3 bike does. So they can drive on a sidewalk as long as they're adhering to proper safety, giving way to pedestrians. But they are going to be doing about 20 miles an hour. That's the max that they're built to go. Not to say that they can't be modified. So there's some helmet laws, there's some licensing laws, and certainly we're aware that they have to maintain and follow traffic regulations. And so as of October 1st, those laws will change, and we will be reaching out to the court to kind of see how they want to best handle some of these violations, whether it's the mail-in infraction, whether it's the JRB referral, or if it's just a, casual contact, verbal, written warning with parents. But the good news is our SROs are working with the schools to get the information out there, and, we have to kind of coexist. The only thing I can say is that if the town or the committee would look to discuss prohibiting certain activities with those bikes as on a town level, on ordinance level, that's certainly an action that you have the authority to do. And some other towns have begun those discussions about either limiting where they can go, how fast they can drive on sidewalks or not, but that's obviously would be a discussion for the council and the public to have.
Great. Thank you so much for that update.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Chief, you said level 1 and level 2 are allowed to ride on sidewalks?
Yeah,
Up to
they're
20 miles per hour?
So they're considered bikes. So we're waiting for the legislative update, and if I misspoke, I'll correct myself in the next meeting. But it's my understanding that the level 3 bikes are the ones that are prohibited from the sidewalks. The level 1 and level 2s right now, unless the statutes are changing, and we'll look for that. Again, I'm still waiting for the changes to come so we can review them. But it's my understanding that they can drive on a sidewalk as long as they are adhering and driving safely and giving right away to pedestrians. So if I'm misspeaking and I'm wrong, I'll correct myself, and I'll be the first to admit it,
You're
but that's.
probably right, but I just
Yeah.
think it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. Yeah, I mean,
Put it to you this way. I think the common sense part of it is like if you had a 7-year-old or 8-year-old kid riding what is normally a regular bike and they're going downhill, they're probably doing 15 to 20 miles an hour too. And I don't think the law, we want them pushing that child out into the road, competing for space on the roadway when it's much safer for them on the sidewalk. So, like I said, if the town wants to have a conversation about e-bikes or assisted bikes to prohibit them from certain activities, then certainly it's to be the venue to do that.
yeah, that will be a big conversation piece, I think. Yeah, I mean, that's a legitimate point you brought up about, but depends on like how you look at the problem. Like, what are you trying to solve for, really, right? But yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
I think
Anyways,
if I may, I think they're new or newer and they're growing in popularity, so we're seeing
Yeah.
more of them.
Right.
And so folks aren't used to them. They're not used to driving on the road and seeing a bike come up next to them on a stoplight or driving by them on a sidewalk while they're
Correct.
driving. So it's kind of an annoyance right now until it kind of becomes part of what we know to be life, right? But again, I'll come back to you when those laws are updated in October, and I can give you some specifics about what we can and cannot do on enforcement. But just know we're aware of it and working with the schools to make sure we're educating our students.
That's great. Thanks.
thank you. Staying with this idea of talking about the future and things that are out there and people thinking about, one of the things that have been coming up in addition to the list that Councilor Wiener had was how do we solve for speeding, right? And in that context, like, I mean, I know we have more presence, we're making more stops, all those things that you can control you're doing. One of the things that comes up is traffic cameras. Do you have a point of view on that?
I am actually looking at that kind of behind the scenes right now. I've actually reached out to manager to have a discussion with him to look for approval to look at a study about the feasibility of it and really what they can and cannot do for us as a community. I don't think it's my decision to place them out there. I think that's a council decision, town manager decision to let our community be heard if that's something they're looking for. But there are some programs out there, companies out there that have been marketing us. We've spoken to them in the past. But what I'd like to do is take that conversation to the manager's office, have it, and look for permission to explore kind of a feasibility study and what it might mean for us and look like. As far as my opinion's concerned, I stand behind it if I believe it's going to make our roads safer. I'm not standing behind it just simply to raise revenue for a toll booth for our town. So if what we can see in that study shows that we can reduce accidents and make certain intersections safer or fix problems, then I can stand behind that. But I can't stand before this council, this board, committee, and the town and simply say we're doing it to slow things down while we're just chewing you for a $50 ticket. I couldn't in good faith do that. But if I do believe that we can make some spots in town much safer and really do that and really do that, then I believe it's something I could stand behind.
Yeah, and I totally, I'm on the same page in terms of your thought process on this. That's why I talked about the speeding part of it, and the more about like making the road safe, because I'm of the opinion that it cannot be it cannot be taken as a source of revenue.
That shouldn't be the only motivation.
That shouldn't be the motivation. I think we are on the same page on that. I think I can say that with no like hesitation. So I think if you were to do this, or I think the feasibility study is a great idea, and I'm glad like you're working with the town manager already. So I think I look forward to that feasibility study and what it brings us, and I think that's the right way to approach it, Ray, I think, and Chief. So yeah, sorry, go ahead. You were going to say something.
It's your mic. We're in very early stages. We've begun the conversation. So there's a couple big lifts and big steps we got to take. But I assure you, once we've had that meeting and I know the direction we're going, I'll keep you informed here. And then, again, this is very early in the stages of getting things going. So I don't want to think that we're jumping ahead and haven't included. We haven't even had the conversation yet. Just waiting to get that on the calendar. So when we get that going, we'll certainly, I think the idea would be is to kind of put the plan together on paper, let you know what direction we're going, and then see what comes out on the other end of it. And then from there, come back to this committee to allow you to take a look at what we have and consider it for future action.
Yeah, that sounds great. Were you going to say something, Ray? I saw you touch the mic. So, no, I was going to say thank you for that input, and I'll say one more thing. I think this is just the starting of the conversation for anybody listening out there, watches these hearings or like meetings and watches these. They watch this meeting like recorded or something like after 2 days. We are not talking about putting cameras right out there right now. We are talking about feasibility studies, taking public's input after that feasibility study, and discussing this in the public forum. So I just want to make sure like anybody who watches this meeting has clarity on this. You put it the right way. I think there is a lot of pieces which have to come together before we even close to considering them. So I just wanted to put it out there because I think this is a sensitive topic for many reasons. There are people on privacy side of the argument. There are people on like it should not be a revenue source. There are people who are squarely in place like me and everybody else here. So if it helps public safety, it helps make our roads safer. I think we should consider it. I think those are the pieces here, and I think I covered pretty much all the different angles to that issue. I think so. Everybody can look at this, make up their mind. We have lots of time to think through this. Nothing happening in the next 6 weeks. So yeah, that's all I have to say on that. I just want to be clear on this topic because I think there are people who
I'd like to just add.
Yeah. Sorry, please.
I'd like to just add, and I appreciate the chief, that I think to look into it would be a safety concern, is to
Right.
increase safety. I don't want this to be a revenue maker either, and I appreciate your thought process behind that. Thank you.
Welcome.
If I may just add one more thing.
Of course.
For the chief. The fire department gives a monthly report on injuries. I was wondering if you could just do that as well. If you have a department member injured, so that we could be, not that we need names or anything, but they just say how many injured for the month.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And if it, would you guys, their employees, just if it's long-term or short-term, just so we have an idea and we could support that injured person through you, and we appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you, Chief. I think we are good. We don't have any old business. We don't have any new business. We don't have any other business. So I will take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn public safety tonight.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is